You've had the opportunity to think about this and to think about what your P is going to be, okay? I'm going to tell you something about myself. I am a narcissistic opportunist. Meaning,
I love it. I love it.
All right. So that's who I am. So I appreciate, love, understand, and respect people who know more than I do. Okay. And I like to use that to my advantage. So you are here. I heard you the best, the best, the best. I love the best, the best, the best, because I am the best, the best, the best. So, hey, what do you have for me? So Gylon Jackson.
I like you.
Me too. And if I were you, I'd like me too. I'm telling
you. You are the definition of I don't like using the word girl, but Black woman magic. You are the definition of it. You're looking good. The trees in the background, like it doesn't.
Right? Look at that.
There you go. There you go. It doesn't get much better.
I know. I love it. I absolutely love it. Which when it runs in February, it's going to seem a little weird, but I'm going to tell you something. I love it. I absolutely love it. I am totally creative, and I have to be a creative just by the nature of my business, which my main business, this is my side business.
What is your main business?
My main business, I'm an attorney. I have Webster Law. I've been a practicing attorney for 17 years. I have had my own firm for 17 years. And at first it was just me. Now I have people that I have to feed every 2 weeks. So I appreciate people who can bring talent. I love talent. I cannot say that enough. I appreciate it and I value it. So, and I pay for it. I have no problem paying for it. So
right.
Just bring it here and we can make it happen. What I don't like is to be used. So if I feel I'm being used, you have to go, and you have to go quickly.
Understood. So I opened up a podcast production studio. So I actually produce podcasts. I produce video casts. I've done since I've known Brittany, I've done over 400 podcasts, 400 video casts. I've worked with the Girl Scouts. I've worked with boxing organizations. I've worked with the city. And so I really decided to, instead of being just an entrepreneur, really falling in love with the process. And because I was able to fall in love with the process, I was able to truly understand I don't want to say my calling, because not too sure what my calling is still yet, but I understood finally that I fall in love with the process, and then everything else goes smooth.
That's another P, process.
That is.
The process.
Every one of my favorite and my first podcast was I wouldn't say first, but favorite. It was called Beyond the Magic. And what it was, we have this thing with women, especially Black women, that it's magical. You're magical. You're this, you're that. But listen, we know the struggle that women, especially Black women, or the challenge. I don't want to always call it a struggle, but the challenge that you all go through on a daily basis, and how you have to show up in society. So what we wanted to interview women that were successful, and this was the other side of the success. So it was the more than magic. So it was like, what is it to be a wife? What is it to be a sister? What is it to be a mother? What is it to be an attorney, an entertainment attorney, a chef, so on and so forth?
Mr. Jackson, I missed my invitation to that one.
Well, okay, so we didn't do any virtual. I didn't know you yet. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay, I understand that. I understand it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So one of my best friends, Kirsten Thompson, who was Fashion Stylist of the Year in San Antonio 3 different times, I finally talked her into doing something, and we have put on some amazing shows. And she actually broke it off, and we did some mental health shows with Black men as well.
There's something in this media. And sometimes I wonder, I was interviewing someone, I had an episode going, and it came to me, I was like, I wonder if I'm truly subconsciously, because like I said, what did I say? I said I'm an opportunist and a narcissist. Mm-hmm. I'm on the spectrum. So I said, what if I'm using this truly as as a dating thing for me, right? As my dating platform, just as interviewing. Maybe I'm interviewing and I don't know it. And I'm seeing this and I get to listen to what a person thinks and what they have to say and all this kind of stuff. So it's funny. I remember back in 2007, I had the Dion Webster show, and it was a show that I had produced myself. And I had just finished. I had not been admitted into the bar for Michigan. I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I self-produced it. I went to this little cable station, Highland Park, Michigan, owned by R.J. Watkins. Loved it. I think I paid my $200 a week. I did it, and I produced maybe 17 episodes. And it was funny because the man I subsequently married saw me on this show. So it's something when you say, oh, one's got engaged and one's doing this and one is doing that, it's something about putting yourself out there. Truly, is this your resume? And you're letting a person know who you are and what you're doing. So there may be some subliminal or some other. I do it because I thought the concept of protect the P was just a wonderful concept.
Love it.
Okay. Because I started off by telling my daughter and my little niece, and it started off with protect your pussy. So you better protect it. And that means no sucking, no effing, no this, no, don't you do it. I said, don't be touching nobody. Don't you let anybody touch you. Don't you touch anybody. Say no. I said, masturbate. That's what I tell them. Just go masturbate. You're young. That was my
thing. I see why you be getting DMs now and everybody be jumping like, oh, okay.
Nobody's DMing me. Trust me, they're not DMing me. They're not.
Protect your P can go back to even, again, I'll take it back to peace, right? Peace.
Right.
It's when you get to a level of success, people start latching on, whatever that success is. And that success may not be the same that it was for somebody 15, 20 years ago before you were an attorney. Now that success is different now that you're an attorney. And once your kids leave the house, it's going to be different again. So there's going to be people, the universe, God, baby Jesus, whatever you want to call it, is going to send people your way. And it is our we have to be able to be at a high vibration, enough vibration that we can discern what's going on. Earlier in my life, I couldn't discern that I have two babies from two different women, right? Or one baby from two daughters from two different women. Yeah, okay, there we go. Half a baby.
Don't split the baby. Don't split
the baby. And I didn't have a good discernment at that time. And now it's better. So
wait, okay. You know what? I know people say that. And you're not the only man to say that, or only woman or women say that too about the children. I wasn't. But you know what? At that point in time, on that moment, at least at that moment, that was the person that you wanted to be with. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, I was exactly where I was supposed to be at that time.
Exactly. And that's just the way it was. So then we have to think about so I'm always thinking of a way, how do I make this a positive for me? Another P, turn it into a positive. Because I think about my situation. I was married. I was not having a child out of wedlock. I don't care what anybody says. I wasn't doing it. That's what they told me. Good girls did not. Good girls got married, and now I was getting married. Now I did get married within 4 months. I did go to Vegas. I didn't have a big, huge wedding. I went to Vegas. It was supposed to be married in a hot air balloon. For whatever reason, the winds weren't right, so we had to get married on top of Red Rock Mountain somewhere. Okay, I had to pay for it all. It's very true. But what came out of it was my daughter. She was the best blessing ever in my world. You know, she changed my life. Totally changed my life. So for that one moment when she was conceived, even that moment when I was in Vegas thinking this was the best thing ever, and then even going through the whole process, because at the end of the day, everything had to go the way it went in order for me to be where I am now. It had to. So it had to go that way. And I look at her, and when I see her talking about, no, we're going to Bali next. And when I hear her talk about things that I couldn't even conceive when I was 16, I feel all right. And I'm so blessed and happy. So go ahead and continue. You've got two daughters.
So with the two daughters, it's there's at different times in your life, people call them seasons. I say times, right? There's different times in your life where different things happen. When I went through a weight loss journey, I've gained it all back, but I went through a weight loss journey 10 years ago. And the protecting my peace was one, working out, but two, understanding why people started coming around me, right? Understanding why people were gravitating to me. Then I was on the radio for a time. I did sports talk radio on Ticket 760. Everybody's familiar with the San Antonio Spurs, best franchise in the history of the world, of course. And I was on the radio.
Okay.
Just saying, who's your team?
You know what? Of course, I am from Detroit, so I'm gonna say Detroit. Whatever, Detroit Lions, Pistons, Red Wings.
Yo, the Lions are balling right now. They're doing really well.
I'm gonna stay with. I'm gonna dance with the one I came. I'm gonna stay with the one I came to the dance with. Okay.
There you go. There you go. Not the one that's in Mexico though, but the one you came to the dance with now, right?
That was look. Side pieces know their position. Play your position. Play your position. Know your role.
So now owning a podcast studio, I interact, no lie, with probably 30 new people a week, if not more, just people coming through the studio because I produce so many different shows. We've done shows with music. We listen, like I said, listen to music from all over the world. So I come in contact with a lot of different people, and you do have to protect your peace. You do have to figure out, is it going to be okay for me to stay at home for the next 2 weeks and not deal with anybody? Because my peace is the most important thing for me. I have to be able to show up. And this is not something that men talk about a lot. We don't talk about protecting our peace. We have to be the macho. We have to have the bravado. We have to have the machismo. But part of having that exterior veneer is not really understanding that we've never understood how to be us because we're always competing with somebody else. And so we don't know. I don't think a lot of men know what peace is, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. And I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm not a man, and I don't even dare to say I would know anything about what a man thinks or feels.
And again, that's where we're seeing a pendulum swing, I think, in society, in relationships with men and women. And I think because of the full autonomy that women have had over the past, say, 50 years or so. And again, I'm pulling that number out. It hasn't been exactly 50 years. It's been shorter than that. But understanding more the full autonomy and things that they're fighting for now, I think that's part of that pendulum is swinging the other way. So we have like very strong, intelligent women, and it feels for men sometimes it feels like we're competing, but we're not competing. When you live in a society that is another patriarchal, and you start seeing more women are successful. Black women are the number one women buying houses. Getting graduate degrees, just unbelievable what Black women are doing. And so men look at that as a threat, but it's not a threat. It's beautiful because now we can raise a wonderful, smart, intelligent family together and not just individual. I think I went off on a tangent on that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go off on a tangent. I'm okay with that. Continue. Speak your mind because because part of my question is, what's your P and how do you protect it? So part of it, I asked you what's your peace, and you're telling me that, and that's part of your story. So that's very, very
peace is strength, but it's mental strength, it's physical strength, it's emotional strength, right? It's not I got to be powerful. Peace is being able to walk away from situations that you shouldn't be in. Peace is not doing the same dumb shit over and over again and expecting different results. Peace is not letting perfect get in the way of possible, right?
Right, absolutely.
And those things
perfect, possible.
I got you. I understand the assignment.
Thank you. Gracias. Por favor. Listen to this. Por favor.
Por favor, right? Hey, that's South Texas, San Antonio. It's all good.
Okay, I did criminal defense for about 13 years. Now I do personal injury, and I do and I do civil rights, and I do just other contractual work. But I have a strong, very major auto practice. I do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're in the land. You know Thomas J. Henry, I'm sure.
No.
You never heard of Thomas J. Henry? He is huge in Texas. When I say huge, I mean you can't watch any commercial without a Thomas J. Henry coming on. Huge.
Well, he must not advertise here in Detroit.
Yeah, no, obviously not in Detroit, but in Texas, it's kind of wild. So I wanted to touch on what you were saying because it's a very mature conversation that you were having.
Yes.
I am one for people being as fun and as freaky as they want to be. 100%, right? Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, I am all for it. I think what we don't talk about is when people are in situations that they are naive about, right? Meaning you just got to LA, you're bright-eyed and you're bushy-tailed, you're from the Midwest, and you go to this party and all you're thinking about is you're going to a Diddy party. You don't know nothing else. And it all seems like fun and games till the light goes out and it hits 3 a.m. in the morning. And then you're wondering what's going on. So I think, in my opinion, there were drugs. There were way too many drugs. But I think what happens is these people dabbled in the drugs and then they have no idea where they are, what they're doing. And I think that there is a level of people that prey on the naivete of people in Hollywood. And I lived in Hollywood for 3 years, right? I can tell you a few stories. My sister lived in Hollywood for 13, 14 years when she was acting and modeling. And so I think this whole Diddy, and I'm saying LA, right? It happened, I think, in New York and other places. I just think there's a naivete that we don't want to talk about when it comes to being sexual in this country, and that it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to understand where we're going and what we're doing.
You know, this is how I feel about it. If you go after him, again, I maintain if anybody there was a minor, then you're going down. Period. There should not have been any minors whatsoever. A lot of that drug usage, people voluntarily participated. Now, if you were drugged, I'm just drinking water, and then all of a sudden I'm acting all loopy because somebody put something in my drink, in my water without my permission, then you're going down for that as well. Because that's an assault, all right? That's an assault, that's a battery. And it could be almost an assault with the intent to murder, depending on what you put in my drink.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how many swingers there are out there? I mean, there was a whole campaign on the whole pineapple. If you go on cruise ships and the pineapple was upside down or there's a pineapple on the door, that means come on in, you know what's up. You know what's up. Are you going to go? My concern is the precedent that is set. That now he was having these parties. Okay, they were the freak-offs. What's the difference between that and Joe and Sue out here inviting the neighbors over and they getting down, all of them getting down? And what's the difference if we decide that we're going to go fly out of town to get down with a group of people? What's the difference? I remember people telling me about, I never participated in this. It was plant people, not plant people. People who worked at the plant. They had these big old conversion vans or something. And what they would do is you would put keys into something. And you put your key in there, and every man would go put on a key, and then there would be the wife in the van. And you go do whatever. Okay, so a whole lot of folks should be going to freaking jail, should be prosecuted, because there's a lot of sex going on and a lot of consensual sex going on. So if it's consensual, no, he doesn't have anything. But if there's anything that was criminal, meaning without consent, meaning involved some type of drug that you did not agree to, then that cannot go. But other than that, if there are consenting adults, and it wants to, I don't care if there's 1,000 of them in there. If everybody was consenting, fine. If I wanted to leave and you told me I couldn't leave, now you're kidnapping. Now you're a problem.
And I think there was a power dynamic there. And I agree with you. I think if it was consensual and everybody knew you participated in the drugs, but the challenge though becomes you participated in the drugs, but you didn't want to participate in the sex, but you didn't have control over that piece of it because you were roofied to whatever else, right? I think there's too much ambiguity. I think there was too much ambiguity in there. But I also know, listen, I could tell you stories about what I did when I was in LA. Shit, I can tell you stories about what I did in San Antonio. I'm not going to tell you those stories. But when you're in situations and there's a hot tub, I'm just leaving it at that. Like there are certain situations you put yourself into, And if you got on shorts in the hot tub or you don't have on shorts in the hot tub, those are two different types of parties. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what? I don't get invited to the reindeer games. So I don't even know. Okay.
Why not? Why is nobody inviting you?
I don't know why they don't invite me to the reindeer games. I don't know. I'm probably too old now to go to the reindeer games.
No, actually, this is a perfect age. 55 is when listen, all I gotta say, go to Florida. Go to Florida, knock on a couple of doors. That is the swingers capital of America, Florida.
See, I'm definitely not going to go knocking on no doors or anything like that. You got to catch me at the right time,
All you got to do is wear a pineapple shirt and say you're a unicorn.
No, I'm definitely not going to. I'm not going to be a unicorn. They use those unicorns up, and I am not. I heard about what happens to unicorns. No. No. Now listen, I may not be in the game, but I heard about the games they play. No, thank you. I am not a unicorn. Nope.
You know, the other piece
wrong with being a unicorn. Nothing wrong with being a unicorn. If you're a unicorn, be a unicorn. Be a unicorn.
The other part of this is the sensationalization of sex in our country, and I believe that we are sexually repressed in America. I think that we have an unhealthy relationship with sex in our country. I don't think we talk about sex enough. I don't think that we have a healthy relationship when men and women talk about sex. I don't think we have a healthy relationship when parents are talking to their kids about sex. I don't think that we understand the true physiology and the true biology of when you start getting, horny as a kid, and why there's a 13-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy, and they're going to capitulate and do some stuff. I don't think that we truly discuss those things. And it's like, ooh, gross. Ooh, don't do that. Ooh, don't do that. Rather than loving the bodies that we're in, loving the experiences, and protecting, again, your peace.
Well,
because it says don't do it in the Bible, if people really want to talk about like why you shouldn't have sex with multiple partners, in my opinion, it's because things like the Bible and patriarchy says, you know what, do this because women are a prize, because women are a piece of property. Right. And nobody wants this type of woman. And so if that woman is deflowered or whatever else, then she's not worth as much. And that's a male bullshit thing, because a dude can go sleep with everybody. But when a woman sleeps with two dudes, then there's something wrong with her. So we have a real problem in this country about full body autonomy when it comes to women and letting women make their decisions about who they do and don't want to sleep with.
Well, when it comes down to, I'm going to tell you, I was very clear about it early on, and I'll be clear about it again. When it comes to my daughter, I told her, don't. I said, you need to know your own body and masturbate. And so I tell her, and I tell her again, protect your, protect your pussy. Protect. And I tell her, do not do that. Do not even engage. Don't, because at this point in time, you should be focused. And I know it's going to be hard because you are in puberty and you're looking, you think he looks good. They look better when they get older. Number one, they don't know what they're doing half the time. And I said, listen, if their parents are my age, those kids might have HIV and they don't even know it. All they know is they got to take a bunch of damn vitamins because there was all that crack going on. A lot of people, a lot of effing around, because I know this is on Facebook or whatever. A lot of fucking around, and folks got that shit and pass it down to their kids. That's why I tell her, don't do it, because you don't even know who you're doing it to. You don't even know, and it's not even all that great and wonderful. Don't let somebody tell you what you should be liking. You tell yourself what you like. And I
think that's my only point. I think what you're saying, I agree with 100%.
Right. And then the thing about it is, if anybody truly likes you, he wants you to be successful. And to be successful, you've got to be studying. You've got to be in your books. Success is at your age, graduating from high school, graduating from college. And I've told her this since she's been in the womb, graduating from law school, passing the bar, and then you can do whatever you want. I need you to be able to take care of yourself, because if you get into a situation where you, God forbid, there's this pregnancy that comes up and you are this age, when you met him, he couldn't take care of you. He definitely can't take care of no baby. You can't take care of you. You can't take care of no baby. Now you sitting up here telling him, oh, you're not a man because you can't take care of me and the baby. Y'all both 16, 17. So now he gets mad and kills you because you hurt his little feelings. Don't you watch?
No, I don't watch none of that shit. I don't watch any of it. I know, but I'm like, damn, we just went from don't have sex and masturbation to this motherfucker gonna kill your ass.
0 to 100. That's where I go. 0 to 100. And then he's killing you and dogs him out because you didn't hurt it because you have hurt his manhood on something that you knew from the very beginning that he could not do. He could not provide for you, and he could not provide for this baby. And the only thing he's thinking about is it's a conquest, and it's just hormones, right? That's all it is. I'm not gonna say there's anything wrong with this young man and what.
But Dion, isn't that what sex is? Isn't that the beauty of it? Like, it is hormones. Now, yes, you need to protect your pee. He needs to protect his pee. It needs to be done consensual. But I think that's part of the problem is we're telling people to hold off on something that is the most natural thing in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she needs to hold. Yeah. Masturbate. That's what she needs to hold. She needs to just do it to herself.
But then she's gonna be broke. But she's gonna be broke because she's gonna have this machine that
she ain't gonna be broke. My daughter ain't ever broke. Okay.
No, not broke. But I'm saying, like, how do you know?
Masturbation. I didn't tell her to go with a machine or anything.
Okay.
Your own body. You need to know the touches that you like on your arms, the touch of your hair. You need to know that. I didn't say anything about a machine. I know they're out there. I do know about them. I do. I'm not saying I don't. All I'm saying is,
what's under that Christmas tree back there?
No boxes with no. The only vibration plate I have is in my office, and it's the thing you stand on, and it shakes and jiggles.
See what happened? See what happened? You look for the next level of excitement. Now you're on a whole damn machine.
Listen,
sticking your finger in your ear, shaking.
And I got 2 of them. Okay. I got one in my office and one at home. But my point is this: is that I think that manual, not machine, masturbation is the way to go when you are young. I think you should be focusing on how am I going to change the world? What invention can I come up with? How can I have? What message do I have? To help. That's what I think. That's what I want her to be focused on. And
agreed.
I want her to be focused on. I said, listen, don't look at these old slick talking ones. I said, go with the damn nerds. Go with the ones they're in biology trying to figure some shit out. Go
exactly
with that one. Okay, that's who I want you to be attracted to, and I hope she is. Hell, I want her to get with I mean, he's married and everything, but the up and coming Mark Zuckerberg. I want her to be with the next Elon Musk. I want her to be with what was his name? He died, but he was in this chair.
Okay, so Dion, but can she be with the garbage man though?
You know what? I have nothing to say about that. The bottom line is I need her to be able to take care of herself.
No, but hold on. No. We just went from Zuckerberg. We went to the up and coming this. We went to the science biology nerd. But what about the trash man, or what about the plumber that maybe not now has his own plumbing company, but because 2 strong, intelligent people come together, that he's going to have a plumbing company. I think we leave out the average Joe all the time.
It's not about leaving out the average Joe. And I have this discussion with my daughter all the time because you don't understand. I tell her, I said, the first questions you should be asking a young man is, does he have a passport? She says, that's not important. It's absolutely important because that lets me know what his mama and daddy was thinking about. That lets me know where they are. I said, ask him, where's the last place he traveled to? I'll ask him what he's invested in because that lets me know what kind of mama and daddy he got. Okay, because that's what's going to be important. Because now you're going to come in and you're going to be like, "Oh, I just got back from the Canary Islands, and this motherfucker ain't crossed the street." Then you're going to have a problem because but part of that. Let me finish my thought because what may happen is this. He may look at you 1 or 2 ways. He's going to be so happy for you and want to aspire to do the same, or he's going to be like, well, who do you think you are? That ain't nothing.
So agreed. I agree with you. So it is the person that has his passport or aspires to get his passport but may not have it yet. but he should always be happy for you. You should be rooting each other on.
Right.
Regardless if you're an attorney, regardless if you're a trash person, whoever you are, it should never, like, he should be able to walk into the room with you and stand straight up and be great, even though he is a sanitation executive, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the whole thing, because I've always talked about, I always say this, men and women come together. And back in the day, a man could care less what a woman did. It wasn't about what a woman could do. But now it seems like with the upper mobility of women, which I'm all for, it's like, well, do you have your passport? Have you been here? Have you done this? Have you done that? And those conversations have never been asked of a man with a woman, but it appears that women are asking that of men. And I understand why, one, but two, are we missing out on love and looking at stuff?
Well, is it truly looking at stuff? When I had a great aunt, she's deceased, her husband's deceased. And she's the one that truly introduced me to travel, because I remember she went to China. I remember her going to Africa. I remember these trips because she would come back and she would have a slide. That's when they had the round circular, and you would put the little you put the pictures in, and you'd have the projector and you would show your pictures.
Yeah, slideshow. Yeah.
Slideshow. So, but her husband never traveled with her. Now, would it make a difference? I don't know, to her, if she knew early on that, hey, he never had an interest in traveling anywhere, that he was not going to go with her. Would that make a difference? Would that, I don't know. I mean, she passed before him.
Did she ever complain? She wasn't
going to complain to me because I was just a child. I don't know what the conversation, I know what I saw.
I see what you're saying as a child.
I'm saying from my side, I said, oh no, whoever I get with, I want us to be there together. Now, if that means that, hey, we might fall out during the trip, then let's make sure we have 2 rooms. So you can get your ass over there and I can get over here. And when we calm down, we can hook back up over here. So we're going to need
maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic. I think there's something to be said. You know, I remember going through my parents' stuff when I shouldn't have, and they were writing checks for 70 and 80 cents, $1.20, $1.50. I remember my dad only having, I think he says $90 to last an entire month when all the bills and everything else were said and done, right? Okay. And so I think that building together, I think that has been lost. Now, I'm not saying we got to go back to the 50s and the 60s. I'm not saying that shit at all. But I think the building and 2 people coming to the table with nothing and building together has been lost.
I think and that concept is absolutely beautiful. All I ever wanted to be was a rich, beautiful woman with a wealthy husband who lets me have my way, and we can build together. Okay, that's all I ever wanted. So
then y'all gonna be a pineapple party. Y'all gonna be a pineapple parties because that lifestyle don't come for free. that lifestyle does not come for free.
Listen, I will not publicly say I'm going to a pineapple party.
And I will not publicly say whether I've been to a pineapple party or not. I actually bought a pineapple shirt, and it's in my closet.
You know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm saying. So I say all that again, and I'm going to make this very clear as well. I was married before. I'm going to get married again, and this time I'm going to be so much nicer. I swear, I'm going to be so much nicer. I'm going to be. Nicer.
That's a very vulnerable place to be, right? Because I was on a podcast, another one that I do with somebody, and the mother of my daughter was sitting next to me while I'm working on some stuff with her on her podcast she wants to do for mortgage, for the mortgage industry. And I never forget, she was sitting there, and I've never said this, and we have a decent communication, but I said, you know what? I wish I was a better adult when we were together, because I didn't understand and I couldn't comprehend where she came from and why she did the things that she did to put us in a particular situation. And I didn't understand my role in that situation. So it's something that, again, it wasn't my fault, but it was my responsibility. And I've been a decent father. I've actually been a good father, but not as good as I could have been. And I could have been a better human to her and truly understand and take the time out to realize, like, the most important thing, the single most important thing are kids. I don't think there's anything else more important than kids. I think parents and relationships are extremely important, and self-autonomy, but I think kids are so valuable and important in our society, because the way that we bring up the kids is going to show them how to treat the elders and the older people as we mature. And if an adult, if a mother and a father or a co-parenting can't get along together, what the hell are we showing people? We're showing them that you don't need to get along. You just need to exist. And when you exist in something that's broken, whether it's a home without a two-parent nucleus, whatever that nucleus looks like, then we're setting ourselves up for failure. And I'm not saying you got to be married. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying because people are going to hear this and be like, he believes in the nuclear family. And no. I believe in community. I believe in whatever that community looks like. And if you have a little bit more money and your community looks different, then great. But I believe in community to raise families and to raise people, not just a mother, a father, whatever else. I think it's community based. It's your neighbors, it's your friends, and everybody.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And maybe one day we can all be on that same page. In the meantime, hopefully each person is doing what they feel is the right thing to do.
100%.
Does not hurt the other person, and that child or those children can see, hey, they love me. He loves me. She loves me. They just don't particularly care for each other, but they aren't mean to one another. They just don't talk to each other. I mean,
which is okay.
Right. That's just how it goes sometimes. So it's all right. At the end of the day, I tell my daughter, I was like, listen, I can't show you me being in a relationship with somebody. All I can do is love you and educate you. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. And we'll have to, see it. I don't know what else to tell you. That's it. But
it doesn't have to be a lot to say, right? Like, I think I've always said that we have the keys. Everybody has the keys. We're born with the keys. Matt, I'll tell you this. I got a book I want to write called I Am the Guru. And it's not saying I'm the guru, but it's for the person who's reading it, that they are the guru. And so when they read it, I am statement, I am the guru, because what happens is, after this conversation I have with you, I'm going to pick up the phone, call a couple of people, and I'm going to realize some keys that were opened up within my mind, my body, and my soul, right? And hopefully, and I know for you, like some of the podcast stuff, you're like, yo, Brittany, we can do this. So I'm giving you some keys. We are the guru. All we need is for this stuff to be unlocked within us. We have the knowledge to do it. And that's why I'm putting this out to the universe. I really want to write that book. And I want it to be a big picture book too. I don't need a lot of words, just a lot of pictures with some quotes and stuff like that.
You know what? I met a guy. I cannot think of his name. He is a comedian. I met him at one of his shows. He goes, "Oh yeah, and I've got a book." So I go to Audible. I said, "Okay, what's your name?" And I was like, "It doesn't show up." "What's your name?" He's like, "No, it's not an Audible." It was a picture book. I said, "Oh, well, yeah." And when I got the book, I said, "Oh no, this could not have been on Audible. This could not have been."
That's funny. His Audible's 3 minutes long. Right. But no, I just listen. One of the things is that I'm able to give people a voice with my podcast studio, right? And I'm not cheap. I used to be cheap. I'm not cheap, and I'm focusing more on businesses, because the more I focus on businesses, the more I can help the regular average day person out. But I'm here to give people a voice. I think we need more voices, but I think we need more voices of reason. I think we need more level-headed voices, and I think we need voices that can discern fact from fiction. And that's what I'm trying to provide to people, is really giving them a voice and having awkward, fun, interesting conversations. I'm not talking about corn in a cup like my two girls were talking about earlier, but I am talking about conversation.
Oh God, the corn.
They said it, not me.
They did say it.
But conversations that we just normally don't have, because it's easy to talk about Diddy, right? But what's hard to talk about is one of the things we talk about, like, okay, let's talk about being consensual. let's talk about why were you in this situation to begin with? Not saying it's your fault you were in this situation, but you don't know that musicians are freaks. You don't know that R. Kelly. Listen, R. Kelly. I read the article about R. Kelly like 10 years before all that stuff came out. At that moment, I'm like, oh, this dude's weird. He's weird. He is weird. And then you got, I'm going to pee on you on the Dave Chappelle show. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We got to understand what situations that we are in. And yes, men have to do better, 100%. But we got to understand the situations that we're putting ourselves in as well.
We really do. And with that, I think many P's came out today. You talked about protecting your peace. You talked about the presence. You talked about the public. You talked about the people. You also spoke about passion. I heard passion come out, right?
100%.
And the puberty, protecting the puberty.
We did talk about puberty. We did. The puberty was there.
See, I'm paying attention and I am listening and I enjoy it.
Paying attention. There we go.
That's right. And the process of it all.
The process.
So listen, this was wonderful. I really appreciate you talking about, telling me your story, giving me your feed forward, because I don't believe in feedback. I believe in feed forward.
I like it.
Yeah, because it's all about going forward, right? That's what this is about. I can't
do anything. No, it really is.